Okay, cool. So I thought I'd go ahead and just start making videos to help, I don't know, other people who need it, and then just to help myself, helps me kind of like figure things out. But we're going to start with the pathways of the sciatic nerve and how it travels. This is just in the lower extremity, and this is just what I've learned so far, right? So we're going to start with the sacral plexus. Okay, so the sacral plexus runs from L4 to S4, right? And the sciatic nerve is made of two branches, right? And the sciatic nerve runs from L4 to S3. And it's made of two branches. Line those out. Okay, there we go. And oop, oop, those two branches create the sciatic nerve. So what are those two branches? Those two branches we know them as the tibial nerve and the common perineal nerve, right? Actually, I don't like that. Delete that so it's all nice and color coded, right? Okay. So that common perineal nerve, what it does is it's going to travel from the pelvis, from spinal nerves, the ventral rami, right? And these triangles I just kind of draw so I know like what kind of physical checkpoints they kind of go through. But it's going to pass through the greater sciatic foregut, right? So once it passes the sciatic foramen, it's going to travel posteriorly along the leg, right? Um, kind of behind most of the hamstring muscles. It's travel posteriorly, and it's going to hit the popliteal fossa. Okay. In the popliteal fossa, what's going to happen is it's going to split into two nerves. Um, it's important to know that from something like right here to about right here, say that's the length of the femur, the thigh, anterior, posterior thigh. It's innervating a couple of things, okay? And when it's innervating, there's going to be the semitendinosus, the semimembranosus, the biceps femoris. Remember, those are two heads it has. So we're going to have the long head and the short head. So the semitendinosus, the semimembranosus, and the biceps femoris long head are all innervated by the tibial division of the sciatic nerve. Right? Okay, so it's innervated by the tibial division of the sciatic nerve. That's going to be L5 to S2. The short head is going to be innervated by the common perineal division of the sciatic nerve. Okay, and that's also going to be spinal levels L5 to S2. So let's come back down here. Okay, so we're back here. Once it enters the popliteal fossa, it's going to turn into the tibial and the common perineal. So this is when it splits up and becomes two, right? Um, this common perineal we know is going to turn into the deep perineal nerve, and the superficial perineal nerve. Right? Cool. So we know the deep femoral nerve, that innervates the anterior compartment of the leg. And the superficial perineal, that innervates the lateral compartment of the lower leg. This tibial division, is going to run on the posterior side. So both of these run posteriorly, right? The tibial nerve is going to run posteriorly, and it's going to pass the medial malleolus and become the plantar. So let me delete that real quick. It's going to become the lateral and the medial plantar nerves. Alright. So big thing here is off the common perineal and off of the tibial, what you're going to have, a lot of you guys might be wondering, like, where does the sural nerve come from? This is where the sural nerve comes from. Okay? So you have two branches that come off of that, and then they become what's known as a sural nerve. Right? So before that, so this section right here, let me do it in a different color. So from here to like here, right? That is going to be, so we'll make that the lateral side. That's going to be the lateral surocutaneous. Right? And then this is going to become the medial. Ooh, I don't even know what that is. It's going to be the medial surocutaneous. Alright? For our class, all we need to know is that all this is a sural nerve. I would know your medial and your lateral just because it is going to become, that's kind of different parts. If you look at cutaneous innervations, the medial sural and the lateral sural both innervate different parts of the leg. Your sural nerve will also innervate its own thing as well. But that's basically it for a sciatic nerve, right? So just going through it again, you have the sacral plexus, comes off of that, tibial nerve, common perineal. It turns into it passes through the greater sciatic foramen. It's going to innervate the muscles in the hamstring, and that's where you get the semitendinosus, semimembranosus, biceps, long head, short head. It's where you have your tibial divisions and your common perineal divisions. Once it passes the popliteal, or in the popliteal, just that general area, it's going to turn into your common perineal and your tibial, right? Your common perineal, we know, turns into your deep perineal and then your superficial perineal. And then your tibial, once it travels posteriorly to the medial malleolus, you're passing it, it's going to travel underneath and go to the lateral plantar nerves and the medial plantar nerve. Oh, I thought I clicked it. There we go. Okay. But that's basically it for that. That's the sciatic nerve.